Good morning, YouTube. This is going to be a long-winded video, but it's going to be about the Jeffrey Epstein case, and whether he was murdered or whether he killed himself. I've been talking about this shit for about I think over a decade now. About a decade maybe. So it's been weird to see everybody slowly wake up to the shit that I was seeing, and reading about. There's a lot of crazy shit that went in government. There's a lot of pedophilia amongst government and in people who are in Hollywood and people who are in big positions of power, and they were using it to do things to children. Jeffrey Epstein was one of those people. He was a massive pedophile. He was a child sex trafficker. Heinous person. But there is this massive, and this is what I will say, this massive tinfoil hat energy going on about 70% of America, or 80%. I don't know how many people, but there's a lot of them. There's a lot of big YouTubers even who are funneling this conspiracy theory that Epstein did not kill himself. From somebody who has been in suicide watch before, from somebody who's been in mental hospitals or not in jails, but in mental hospitals under suicide watch, in this very same setting, kind of. I experienced an event one time there where a woman hung herself while I was there, and she was on suicide watch too. And I don't know if she made it out or not, but she ended up getting carted away while I was there. I wasn't able to find out any information because I was a patient, so she might have died. But it only takes 5 or 10 seconds at best to and I know this is it may not really take that, but it's quick. It's quick when people hang themselves with a piece of cloth or something like that. It's quick, and people can choke out and real quick, because it was when it happened when I was there. It was pretty fucking scary, because it was she was walking around, and within 5 minutes she was dead. I don't know if she died, but she did choke herself, and she was asphyxiated on the floor, and she had to be resuscitated, at the very least. So to think that all this stuff with the camera editing with Epstein, and all the people saying that the camera got edited, that there's missing footage. Well, that may be true, but the thing is I still believe it was a suicide. As a logical, rational person, knowing who Epstein was and knowing that he had gotten caught, knowing that he was going to face repercussions for his actions, and he himself probably thought holy shit, the whole world is fucking looking at me right now, and he probably knew what was gonna fucking goddamn come out. He probably knew exactly what was fucking gonna come out, and he took his own life. Suicide. It was suicide. It was suicide. I don't think it was murder. I think this is a collective, psychosis, almost, amongst everybody. Because even the left and the right wing believe this conspiracy that he was murdered. But I don't think he was murdered, and I feel a lot of people are grasping at straws because they just want to have understandings to what's going on, because we've been lied to. We've been lied to a lot, so it's easy to assume that like there was some other ulterior motive like going on, and like he may have been murdered. But I don't know. I don't think he was. And another thing is, like, I was watching this one political video where in some of the files, like, there was a video that came out where they're like move and dispose of the body, and they're talking about a deer, but they're talking about hunting. So everybody's like jumping to conclusions, and like I feel like if you're reading the files and you're analyzing the files, don't do that. Don't jump to conclusions. Don't fucking scrutinize everything. Scrutinize everything, and try to understand what you're seeing, because I feel like it's easy to get lost with the amount of shit that's coming out. Um, it's a hellacious time to be an American citizen right now. It's scary. It's bad if you're if you're not straight and white, or Christian, or Catholic, or any of the Abraham any of the people who believe in Jesus. If you don't believe in Jesus in this country, I'm going off on a completely different rant, dude. Different rant entirely. That's for a different video. But yeah, it's rough, and I don't think that everybody is feeling the best anymore. I feel like a lot of people are dealing with depression and anxiety and mental illness now, that weren't dealing with it necessarily before. There's a lot of new depression, new anxiety disorders. People are becoming very hopeless, and it's a loss of hope. I don't know. It's like I want things to get better. I want things to get better. I made a video earlier saying that things will get better. I still believe that. I still believe that. I still believe that there's a possibility to make things work again, and maybe not go back to the way that things were in the past, like as being good. Because like I feel like a lot of us are tricked into thinking that it was good because it's like we were kids, and that we have the nostalgia of things being good, but we just necessarily weren't looking at like the whole picture back then. When we grew up, we started hating the world because it started. It looked more dark than what we actually thought it was. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like things will get better eventually, but it's all dependent on if we're able to like come together. And I don't think we're doing a very good at coming together right now, because there's a lot of war. There's a lot of bodies. There's the war in Iran right now that we're dealing with. There's Israel and Palestine. There's Russia and Ukraine. There's a lot of stuff. India and Pakistan. It's like these countries it's like they argue all the time and fight all the time and kill each other all the time for various reasons. Israel and Gaza, it's like this stuff is like so hard to like wrap my head around. And as a person who is autistic, and a person who is just trying to live their life out, it's hard to really wrap my head around certain things. It's confusing. It's a confusing time for me right now. I'm very sad a lot. I go through a lot of depression myself and anxiety myself. I have a lot of problems with the world at its current state. It makes me angry. I get angry and I yell. I cry. when those children died in that hospital, I lost my mind, dude. Like I cried for like a solid like 10 minutes, and was like it's like I'm not trying to brag. That's not a humble brag. I'm confused as to why other people aren't sad, why other people aren't shedding tears for children being exploded in like the hundreds. Like we cried about Sandy Hook, but we're not gonna cry about just because it's over there. I don't know. I don't know where people's humanity has gone. I feel like people can't be civil anymore. Civil discourse and the act of civil disagreements are not even a thing anymore, because there's no such thing as a civil disagreement anymore. That's not true, but it does seem like most people can't like disagree with each other anymore without like taking it to like level 10. Um, I want things to get better. I hope everybody's like having like a okay week. My week has been okay. Even though with all the stuff going on in the news and the media, um, it's frustrating. It's very frustrating. But yeah, that's the end of this video. I think I've talked about all the things that I wanted to talk about that were on my mind. Like, comment, and subscribe if you want to. I don't really have that many subscribers enough to like live stream, and that's like one of my biggest goals right now is to get that 50 subscriber milestone, to where I can start live streaming and doing sort of like videos like this, to where I can just live stream talking and having conversations with a chat. But yeah, that's about it. Peace out.